Good afternoon and welcome back to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at MarketSite, we have Aimee Irwin. She's the President of Strategy for Marketing over at Experian, and we are going to focus on data and how it's going to change the advertising industry. Thank you so much for joining us at MarketSite in the heart of Times Square. So let's talk about data and technology. It is enabling brands to interact with their clients in very different ways.
Yes. In Experian, that's exactly what we do. We help marketers use data and technology to better understand customers in this ever changing and complex world. So consumers are now interacting with many more devices than they've ever interacted with before, and we help them deliver the right message to the right consumer at the right time and provide really relevant messages to consumers.
How is data going to help to allocate advertising dollars? I would imagine that is the key issue that comes up in advertising.
Exactly. ROI is so important. There's so many different ways you can spend your money as a marketer these days, and understanding what works and what doesn't work is incredibly important. So not only do we help marketers really identify the audience to reach by helping them understand consumers through the vast amount of data we have on every single household, but then we can also do what's called closed loop measurement, which means understanding then which of those consumers you reached actually then purchased your product or took some other kind of action to indicate that you're interested in that brand.
How does it help marketers and advertisers identify their target market?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we have a file that is on every single household, demographics, interests, income, things that marketers are interested in. And then marketers have their own first-party data too. So if you're a customer of the Gap and you're in their loyalty program, then you would the Gap or another retailer would have that information on you. And we marry that data together so that they can get a 360 view of the customer and connect identities across the multitude of channels and devices that customers are using. So, my kids will watch TV and be on their phone at the same time, as many people are these days, and then they'll go interact with social media, and then they will maybe also check email. There's all sorts of different touch points, digital touch points and offline touch points that need to be weaved together to get a 360 view of the customer and to make your messaging relevant as consumers then go through the path to purchase and interact with brands in so many ways.
It's so interesting that you bring up social media and how influential it is. I even know, as we're talking about holiday 2018 and so forth, it's not necessarily that one product everyone has to have, but who they follow on social that's influencing their purchases, particularly with the kids. So to wrap up here, why is it so key to putting your customers at the center of the brand and understanding how they work?
Managing your customer experience and having a positive customer experience is really the goal of any business when you think about it. Because if you can't do that, then your customers are not likely to have a favorable impression of your brand, to buy your products. And so understanding that identity across all those points is critical to that.
Right. It sounds like it's constantly evolving as well.
It is. There's so many data points, and that's why having third parties like Experian help you manage all those data points and make sense of them is so critical, because marketers and brands, they have their own products, they have their own services that they need to focus on. They need to focus on making better so that we can help them with the marketing piece.
Okay, Aimee, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.